People will be shocked to learn India is basically tied with China in purchasing Russian oil. That's an astonishing fact. Who said that? Is he really Trump? Who is Donald Trump? Who is he? Why he said that? Seriously, if you want to know this, please watch this wonderful video till the very end. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Knowledge Diary. Here we are with a new video on one of the most powerful person on planet Earth who started his journey from a businessman to successfully become a powerful politician as well as the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Born on 14 June 1946 at Queens, New York as the fourth child of Fred Trump and Mary Annie McLeod Trump, Donald Trump attended Kew Forest School through 7th grade. To complete secondary school, Trump's father, Fred Trump, enrolled him in New York Military Academy, a private boarding school, as he was a difficult child and showed an early interest in his father's business. After being graduated from University of Pennsylvania in 1968, became the president of his family's real estate business in 1971, renamed it as the Trump Organization, and began acquiring and building skyscrapers, hotels, and golf courses. In the early 1970s, Trump was anxious for the attention and approval of media and audience, but the first time the New York Times mentioned Trump, it was not for a good reason, and the headline said, "Major landlord accused of anti-black bias in city." Department of Justice lawsuit fight against Donald Trump that the Trump Organization discriminated against African American. Most of the lawyers Trump talked to urged him to settle, but that just was not who he was. In the early 1970s, Trump met Roy Cohn at Manhattan nightclub. Cohn offered services. He filed $100 million countersuit against the Department of Justice. Although that was not successful, the final settlement ultimately allowed Trump Organization to get away without admitting any wrongdoing. It was a win for Trump. Trump go from being a real estate developer to a national celebrity. He bridges the worlds of politics and finance entertainment. He became a frequent guest on talk shows whose hosts like his charisma and his willingness to talk about all sort of topics. The newspaper magazines which had made fun of him were forced to cover his rise. To many Americans, Trump, who had a tower with his name on it, embodied the 1980 hyper-capitalist version of the American dream. Trump hosted the reality television show The Apprentice from 2004 to 2015, bolstering the fame as a billionaire. Trump started his political career but registered his name as a Republican in 1987. During his first presidency, Trump expanded the Mexico-United States border wall, enforced a family separation policy on the border, and many more. After losing 2020 presidential election, Trump attempted to overturn the result. He won the 2024 presidential election against Kamala Harris. Donald Trump's leadership style and political agenda referred to as Trumpism. His comments and actions are criticized as racist. Many critics, scholars ranked him as one of the worst presidents in American history. But still, we have to admit that he is the most powerful person right now. Trump's recent announcement about India. Back in April, Trump has announced tariff of up to 27% on Indian goods, which were later paused. This Friday, he announced that the US will impose 25% of tariff on goods imported from India, plus an unspecified penalty for buying Russian oil and weapons. He described India as a friend whose tariffs are far too high, among the highest in the world, and also criticized India's purchase of Russian military equipment and energy, when everyone wants Russia to stop the killing in Ukraine. Stephen Miller, a deputy chief of staff at the White House and one of Trump's most influential aides, said in an interview with Fox News that what he said very clearly is that it is not acceptable for India to continue to financing this war by purchasing the oil from Russia. India is the second largest buyer of Russian oil after China, and more than 30% of its fuel is sourced from Moscow, providing to the Kremlin amid Western sanctions. New Delhi imported just 1% of its oil from Russia before the Ukraine war started in the year 2022. People will be shocked to learn that India is basically tied with China in purchasing Russian oil. That's an astonishing fact. Thank you for watching. Bye bye and take care.